Hi friends, so I just returned from a bucket list trip to Ferndale, California, a small Victorian town located in the northern part of the state. Now, why did I go to a small town in the northern part of California? Well, Ferndale is home to my favorite movie. It is the filming location of the 1979 TV series movie Salem's Lot, the Stephen King novel turned into a movie. My absolute favorite movie. So I went to visit the filming locations, and so today I'm going to take you on a tour in this video of Salem's Lot. It's all on this episode of Everything 101. Let's get to it. Hey guys, so I'm taking a little adventure today, and I'm at the Atlanta airport. It's early in the morning. I am heading out to Salem's Lot. Yes, Ferndale, California. Really excited to get out there today. Let's go get on a plane. All right, guys, I just made it to Arcata Airport in Eureka. My GPS is telling me I got about 28 miles to Ferndale. So really excited, got my rental car, ready to rock and roll. Let's go to Salem's Lot. It's my first morning in Salem's Lot, and just had breakfast here, and you can see right here, this is where Ben Mears would have driven with the Marley House in the distance, which is now covered by trees. But he turns and goes this way. Obviously the movie at the beginning is not shot with the real scope of the city in mind, because he turns and goes this way. But in actuality, he's driving this way, coming toward us after that. So they use different parts of the city for different shots to get a perspective, I guess. But right as he turns, in reality, this is where Crockett Realty is, right here. And then right next to it, in that yellow house, is where Weasel was actually sitting, drinking, when Parkins Gillespie comes up to talk to him and tell him to keep an eye on Ben. And then right down here, we'll take a quick walk. Right down here is Barlow and Straker's Antique Shop, right across the street. So Ben Mears would have turned his Jeep around right here and gotten out, and he would have walked across the street, and right here in this window is where James Mason would have been looking out, watching this newcomer to town. And there is Barlow and Straker's Antique Shop. So I'm here in the cemetery. This is what we know as Harmony Hill in the movie, but it's actually Ferndale Cemetery. But so heading up the winding road that we see in the movie, I'm hoping I can get a better perspective once I get up to the top. But ultimately, I want to get up there to the top where the scene would have taken place in the movie with Danny Glick being buried. All right, so we're at the top of the Ferndale Cemetery, what we know as Harmony Hill in Salem's Lot. Now, actually, there's another level here, and it's right up there. But those graves up there seem to be, the oldest one I found was about 1979. While they were doing Salem's Lot, making it, I know they were filming in August of 79. So the grave I found up there was in September of 79. So I can't really find a lot older than that, but from here down, is history, and this is just an incredible amount of history here. But this is the general area of where Mike Ryerson would have been burying Danny Glick. And if you're a fan of the movie, you'll know that they shot that in 2 different locations. When you actually see him digging, that's not here, I don't think. But you can look up the filming locations of that. But they shot that scene in 2 different places. So this is what would have been around Jeffrey Lewis as he was filming that scene. But in the movie, it appears to be all grass. But as you can see, the magic of movies. But you can see that little structure. You can also see a lot of these graves in the movie. These are very old. And you definitely can see that great view of Ferndale, also Salem's Lot as we know it. And if you look right down there, that is Barlow and Straker's antique shop. And there's now a little building next to it. That's actually an Airbnb. So if you want to come to Ferndale and stay in Salem's Lot, in the antique shop, I should say, you can actually do that. Just go on to airbnb.com, check out Ferndale. You'll see 201 Main Street. That's Barlow and Straker's antique shop. But incredible view up here of where that scene would have taken place. I'm standing outside the home of Parkins Gillespie, the town constable. Here he is. This is his house. This is where David Soul and Ben Mears, are talking. And they're standing right there. He's packing, leaving town. And Ben Mears pulls up, asks him what he's doing, why he's leaving. And he says, "This town's falling apart and you're leaving?" And he says, "Yeah." Hands him a gun right there. And then they take off. And Ben takes off as well to go try to take care of business. All right, guys, I am on Bluff Street in Ferndale. And Bluff Street is well known by Salem's Lot fans because this is the scene, the place where major scenes were filmed from the movie, and I'm about to show you why. This is the Marston house from the movie Salem's Lot. This is where Straker lived. There's a lot of backstory behind this in the movie and the novel. Of course, the house you see here was not in the movie. There was a facade built around the sides and the front of it, and a lot of things were shot in the movie here, a lot of scenes. And of course, there were several shots behind the scenes of all the production crews sitting here on the side right over there. And where I'm standing is where David Soul parked his Jeep, got out, and walked right over there and stood and looked at the Marston house, and was obviously thinking back to his childhood and a little freaked out about it. But there's the famous location of the Marston house. Very cool part of Salem's Lot. All right, Salem's Lot fans, they're actually cutting grass and everything right now, so there's a little bit of background noise, but you know this church as Father Callahan's church, and Ben Mears runs out of this church when he's trying to get holy water as they're going to go up to the Marston house and try to take care of business. But that's where Ben runs in, and of course you hear the doctor asked if Callahan was in there, and he said it's nowhere to be found. So anyway, very cool part of the movie right here. All right, guys, if you can't tell in the background, I am at Eva Miller's boarding house. So right up there, you can see the window, the famous window that comes out. But I've just met the owner of this house, and he has just offered to give me a tour. So I'm really excited. I'm going to get to go into the boarding house.
Welcome to the old rectory. Okay, this is the second rectory of Ferndale, second Catholic rectory of Ferndale. Catholic rectory, if you didn't know, Catholic rectory is where the priests live. Okay, so in 1884 they built this, and they built it right next to the Catholic church in town. And in 1964 they were going to get rid of it. instead of getting rid of it, now a couple of different ethnic groups in the community, you had Portuguese, you had Swiss Italians, and you have some Danes, but a lot of those people on the Portuguese and the Swiss Italian side were Catholics, and they wanted to preserve it for the history because it's a historic old house. They were going to tear it down though, and they wrote, I mean, they even say they wrote some letters to the Pope. I don't know if that's true, but they saved it. And so they saved it, and actually they moved it. They put it on rollers, and they actually moved it over 2 blocks down from the Catholic Church. Some interesting things to note. We got an old plaque because in 1982, February 11th, 1982, it was put on the historic registry. And so the good news is that's really awesome and good history. The bad news is if I ever want to make any changes to the house, I got to make sure it's all in alignment with the historic registry. I also have an Army flag up because obviously I'm a proud Army veteran. And you can look at the front door, which you can definitely see in the movie. And then some interesting things as well is I got some nice big trees here where some owls live. And so in keeping with the theme of Salem's Lot, we have a cemetery across the street, if you didn't realize. And we actually have a cemetery right here because when the owls can't digest everything, they regurgitate all of the bones that they can't keep. And so, as you can see right here on the fence. So this is the old kitchen, and you know, things to note, it's massive. Cool things about it too is the refrigerator and everything is a little bit recessed, kind of like hidden, makes it look nice and historical. Same thing with the dishwasher.
Nice.
Yeah, color's a great theme throughout the whole house. We got that, got a nice island. I don't know what else to tell you, it's a big old kitchen. Okay, I'll take you to the dining room. Dining room as well, massive dining room. I don't know what to say other than I eat meals in here. It's a very good place to eat. And then I'll take you around as well. So this is actually a picture of the house when it was the actual rectory next to the Catholic Church. And so that's where they moved it. And the woman who bought it, Violet Russ McBride, she painted this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'll show you the parlor, which is a great room for, you know, entertaining guests. Big old room, got some chess. I either play chess there or I teach classes from there. And some old German furniture that I picked up in my time, some army stuff around, and other than that, that's kind of all we got.
It's amazing.
Thank you. And then, yeah, crown molding, all that, and all that.
All right, guys, so you saw just a brief look inside the house. You know, there are some things that we didn't get on camera. We didn't get to go upstairs with the camera because this is actually an Airbnb. And so I was not aware that you could stay here as well. So it's looking like several locations from Salem's Lot are available for you to stay. But anyways, really cool house, so much history. I had no idea this house was not even here originally. It was down by the Catholic Church, which is, you know, you can see it in the distance behind me there, maybe. Well, yeah, the lighting's a little weird, but it is down there. And they moved the entire house here. I had no idea, and that was in, I believe, 64, what he said. So anyway, this is such a cool place, and a lot of history, and a lot of history with Salem's Lot. A lot of shots were done here, so this is just a cool place. So check it out. If you come to Ferndale, you got to stay here or at the antique shop. Just a lot of great options. So we'll get a couple of shots from the outside.
All right, Salem's Lot fans, in the movie, at the beginning, Ben Mears is coming down and he's noticing Susan there. I'm pretty sure, I've looked all over this park and I'm pretty sure that this is it. There's the tree that you see, and there is Susan right there. and they start having their conversation, and this starts their relationship. And so you can see Ben kind of hovering right up there, and he's looking down this way when he first notices her. Right now you're looking at the school here in Ferndale, and this is where a scene takes place between Ben and Susan. Susan is walking out this way, and Ben joins her and says, "Hey teacher, can I carry your books?" You can see some students in the background, and Ben and Susan stop about right here, and that's when Susan notices her sort of ex-boyfriend Ned Tibbetts sitting right there on the corner. So Ben waits right here until the conversation's over, and Ned gets in his truck right there, and he turns quickly to the right here, and you can tell those houses right there in the background are very recognizable in the film. This is actually on the northern end of Ferndale off of Main Street. Hey, good morning, Salem's Lot friends. This is my last day here in California. Got to pack it up in the morning, but I still have several things to show you. I got up this morning, had breakfast, and came to Eureka. Now, the reason I'm in Eureka is because I wanted to visit Sequoia Park. Now, if you're on the website called Salem's Lot Then and Now, it says that the scene with Danny and Ralphie in the woods when Ralphie goes missing, it says it is filmed in Sequoia Park in Fortuna. I'm now realizing that is not accurate. So I confirmed with Ralphie himself last night, shot him a quick message, and he confirmed it was in fact Eureka. And I don't even find a Sequoia Park in Fortuna. So I'm feeling fairly certain that I'm definitely in the right place. This place is amazing. So right behind me, it just looks like a normal park, but I want to flip the camera around and show you what's in front of me. This is what's in front of me. It's just an incredibly beautiful area, and got a path going down through there. And just look at that amazing forest right there. I'm going to go walk around, check it out a little bit. Now, I am really questioning whether I can find exactly where they filmed the shot. But I'm definitely going to walk around and check this out. But it's an amazing place. And of course, Ron, you know, it's been a long time, and he was basically picked up and driven here and did his job. So, you know, it's been a long time. I can't expect him to remember exactly where it was. But anyway, it's an amazing area. I'm going to walk around, and you can see it does resemble the movie. Look at those plants out there. Zoom in. You actually see those, some plants just like those in the movie, right next to the place where Danny runs off and says, you know, "I'm leaving." He's like, "Danny, wait." You can see some plants just like that near him. So this is I feel like we're definitely in the right place. I've done some extensive investigating here in Sequoia Park. Honestly, there are just too many places it could have been. I feel like I've been able to eliminate some of them, but I'm going to have to leave this challenge for the next person to come to Ferndale. So we'll do a little more research. Maybe the next person that comes can pinpoint that location. But I see a whole lot of places that it could have been. Some of the places I'm looking at are just, they're too steep. It's like this on one side and this on the other, and you know from the scene, if I'm thinking right, it's just not that steep. So other than that, when you narrow it down to the places that aren't that steep, could have been any of them. So I'm going to challenge whoever comes here next to find it for the rest of us. So, but hey, at least I got to visit the park. It is beautiful. You can see definitely why they would want to film here for that woods scene. All right, so now I'm jumping back in the car, heading back to Salem's Lot, and I still have about 4 or 5 more things to check off the list.
I believe Susan Norton's parents are fixing dinner right now, so I got to go to their house. So I'll see you guys there. Okay, we are currently at the Shaw House Inn on Main Street, Ferndale. This is the shot where, well, this is actually Susan Norton's house. This is where Susan and Ben have dinner the first time. This is where they're on the front porch heading on their first date. This is also where Ben is telling her to put hawthorn all over the house, crucifix, as they're getting ready to go to the funeral parlor. All right, I'm at the corner of Shaw and Main in Ferndale, and this building that you're looking at right here is now a Wells Fargo. And this is the location of the diner where Ben and Susan were talking about her potential job opportunity. You get this angle behind them, so you see these buildings, and they do look a lot different now. And this building definitely looks a lot different, but you can see those windows right up there in the shot. But they've closed in some of the building, it looks like, but this is the location of the diner. If you've seen the movie, you recognize this house. This is the home of Jason Burke. Jason allows Mike Ryerson to stay at his house overnight, and of course Mike dies. And the hearse is out in front here hauling Mike away. And we know from the movie that Mike will come back and visit in this house. But this is the home of Jason Burke. So, right now I'm on Shaw Avenue, and this goes right off Main Street. When I show you where I am, you're gonna go, oh yeah, I know that spot. Right there it is. This is Ferndale Elementary School, as you can see now, but in the movie Salem's Lot, this is the hospital. So Ben comes flying up. He comes flying up right there, especially at the end when he's looking for Susan. And he runs up this little sidewalk here, and he runs into that building. And of course, the interior shots were done in a studio. But here is the hospital of Salem's Lot. Pretty cool. Well, my friends, I hope you've enjoyed this tour of Salem's Lot, my favorite movie. If you haven't seen it, you need to go check it out. It's on Amazon Prime and probably available in some other venues as well. But definitely sit down and watch Salem's Lot, and you'll recognize a lot of the filming locations that I've shown you in this episode. But that's about it for this episode of Everything 101. Stay tuned for more great episodes coming out all the time. I'll see you soon.